And welcome back to another episode of the White Sox March to October. But this isn't just any other episode. Today is the start of the 2024 postseason. That's right, those White Sox you're watching right now that are 2-10 and look absolutely helpless, we got them to 103 wins and a 1 seed going into the playoffs. So after getting a bye past the wild card round, our division series opponent is none other than our division rival, the Minnesota Twins. They were who we were chasing down the entire season until the last month of the year, really. It took all the way until September to pull past the Twins, and when we did, we still couldn't really put them away. We only finished 4 games above them, even though I kept rattling off win after win, which is kind of crazy to step back and think of what it took to beat the Twins. Like, we needed to get to 100 wins in order to beat the Twins in the division, and we can't see the graph anymore, but back at that point in time where we dipped down to a 500 record, and I think even a game below, that was right around like the 45 and 45-ish mark. So the fact that after that point, we won like 50 plus games while not even losing 20, barely 15, and we needed just about every single win to get there. So what I like to do first before we start each new postseason series in March to October is I like to get a look at our opponent for that round. You know, do a little scouting, know what we're up against. So with the Twins, their 99 and 63 record makes them the second best team in the American League by actually a lot. I mean, the next closest was 5 wins behind them. They come in ranked 9th overall by talent. They're a good hitting and pitching team, and it's their defense and speed that lack behind a little bit. So taking a look at their offense, their starting lineup here against right-handed pitching, and we can kind of see right away what makes them such a good hitting team. Purely based on the overalls, there's not really a star player here, but there are so many players with a low to mid 80s rating, and then we've got a 79, a 73, and then a Trevor Larnach. And I think these icons just mean like right now they're leading the league so far in different stats in this postseason, so that doesn't really matter for anything. But let's take a look at what they're actually throwing out there. Royce Lewis actually didn't improve over the course of the year, and he didn't really have a crazy season either. I mean, it's definitely a solid one, but I don't know, I feel like I would have assumed he would have had a little bit better numbers. Their 2-hitter against righties, Alex Kirilloff, he was pretty solid, good average. You got Edouard Julien, and he had a really good year. 46 doubles, almost 30 homers, 332 average with a 1054 OPS. They did make it a new thing this year where you can look at awards on this tab, and yeah, he won the Silver Slugger Award for his position and just straight up won the batting title. So he had the best batting average amongst qualified players. You got Buxton, who really benefits from injuries being off in March to October. His power went down a lot against lefties, still hit 28 homers though. Their catcher, Ryan Jeffers, he's all the way up to an 80 overall. He's a solid hitter, can't take him lightly. Then you got Correa. It looks like regression's almost starting to hit him. It still says he went up in overall somehow, and he had another solid season, almost a 30 homer guy, solid 270s average. Matt Wallner. A lot of these guys are having pretty similar years, like solid enough power, solid enough gap potential, and their average is like right around that 270 mark besides Edouard Julien. Kepler, a few more home runs, but the average still right around the same. Larnach, okay, Trevor Larnach didn't even play. Every team always has one. For whatever reason, it seems like every single team that I face off against in a March to October postseason, they have some player that didn't spend any time in the big leagues all of a sudden on the postseason roster. I'm guessing against lefties, we're going to see, yeah, Willie Castro's in the lineup, and then so is Kyle Farmer. Willie Castro, wow, he actually played 160 games this season and stole 56 bases. Wow, that might be the most I've ever seen at the end of a March to October season. I actually didn't pay attention to that with anybody else. I didn't even notice if anybody else had big stolen base numbers. But then you got Kyle Farmer, platoon bat against the lefties. We'll see him when Jake Eater starts, I guess, and he's pretty much the same deal as most of their players. Everybody on their team is just solid. Like, they all put up solid seasons. Now onto their pitching to see what we should be worried about, and yeah, they've kind of got a big 3. Although I wouldn't have expected Chris Paddock to be part of that. Why do they rate him so highly? I honestly don't get it. What about Chris Paddock? He doesn't have that much progression. You have to assume he was either an 83 or 84 to start the year. What about him makes him an 83-ish overall A potential? I mean, he barely pitched the last 2 seasons combined, and then the 2 seasons before that, he didn't put up good numbers. I don't know. Either way, this is what we're dealing with. Lopez, Paddock, and Ryan are the big 80-plus overall arms. Then you got Bailey, Ober. Probably won't see DeSclafani. Looking at their stats, Lopez, he had a nice year. He did not give up many hits compared to the amount of innings he threw. And then Paddock, I mean, we already kind of looked at this. He was whatever. And then Joe Ryan had a really nice year. Okay. And then if we face Ober, it'd be a good thing if we face Ober. Their bullpen, though, is what we'll be seeing a lot of, presumably, and it is a solid all 70 plus overall with a lockdown closer bullpen. If we look at the numbers they put up, okay, this guy didn't even play in the regular season. Steven Okert, okay, he wasn't that good as one of their main lefties. Their other lefty was a little bit better. This dude hardly pitched. Brock Stewart pitched a decent amount and wasn't like amazing, but he still got a good pitch mix. High hits and Ks per 9, so we gotta be on the lookout for him. Griffin Jax, he's also got a good pitch mix. Justin Topa, another dude that's gonna be tough to hit with the sinker-slider combo. And then Yohan Duran, out of the pen, he picked up 54 saves with a 2.54 ERA. So yeah, we probably don't want to be going into the 9th inning losing. Taking a look at our lineup, how it's set up is the same way that I had it set up throughout the year. The only thing different is Zach DeLoach went back down after being the September call-up player. But then pitching, I guess this is finally where Sammy Peralta got sent down. He wasn't included on the postseason rosters in favor of Eric Fetty. Obviously, I would have liked for it to be like Joe Barlow, but he wasn't on the 40-man, so it was never going to be Joe Barlow. But the way our rotation's set up, we got Dylan Cease all the way up to an 89 overall with his progression. And normally, stuff like this is what we would save for the end of season recap, but now that we can actually look at it, I can share with you guys, Dylan Cease, he won the Cy Young this year. We're not going to go through everybody and look at the awards. We'll wait till after the season to look into everybody, but this is a big one. I got to point it out. The guy who wasn't even supposed to be here ended up as the #1 pitcher in the American League. But yeah, anyway, it's Cease, then Eater, and then Soroka and Kopech. And usually the 5th starter isn't even used, so we should feel free to use Tyler Wells out of the bullpen. And then yeah, everything else besides Eric Fetty over Sammy Peralta is the same that we've seen the bullpen throughout the year. I don't know if that really solves the mystery though of us all of a sudden shooting up to rank 11, because the last time I had looked, we were still ranked 17, and then all of a sudden, Eric Fetty stays, Sammy Peralta goes, and that gives us a jump of 6 ranking spots. I don't know. I don't know if that's it. But anyways, we're ready to hop into Game 1 here. We're probably going to stick to just playing Game 1. It's been a little while for me since the last time last year I had to play a normal postseason run in a March to October, so I kind of forget how I do it, but I think we take it pretty slow. But we are starting this one pretty early, all the way in the top of the 6th inning. We have a 1-0 lead. Dylan Cease throwing a shutout so far, but 2 runners on in scoring position is kind of threatening that. Ooh, and we've got the night game. And man, look at how short Dominic Fletcher is compared. Why would they stick the 5'9" guy in between 2 giants? I don't know who that was on either side of him, but that's just cruel. Look at that though. We've got rain. It's October in Chicago. You know that's got to be miserable, but everybody's got the towels waving. It's our first home playoff game since the Sox got bounced by the Astros in 2021. Look at that. Look at the crowd. They all showed up. The only thing that would make this cooler is if they had the blackout crowd that you know the White Sox would do in this situation. All right, so here we go. It's Ryan Jeffers, the guy I specifically said we can't take lightly. So I got to lock in and finish this at bat. I'm sticking with Cease. He's got plenty of gas left in the tank. I do, though, want to check on where our 1 run has come from. Who's been the hero? It's Vlad. Vlad has done it all on his own so far. A solo shot, and that's our offense. And I know we saw this, but I already kind of forgot. Cease has 7 punch-outs, only the 1 walk, and 3 hits allowed. So yeah, we got to make sure that his good game continues. And actually, okay, I thought I saw the wind blowing straight out, but it's blowing 10 miles per hour to the right. Not like that really matters a ton. Oh, And that was against the wind too. So yeah, not taking Ryan Jeffers lightly. I wasn't trying to. I just missed my spot and left the fastball right down the middle, and immediately we're down 2. That's quite the way to start our postseason run. All we can do now is bounce back. We'll leave Cease out there. He still has plenty of energy. He's still like 10 plus higher overall than anybody else I'd bring in. And there we go. Right away, we get a grounder. We get an out. He's back on track. We just got to pick him up with the offense. Eloy, I don't think I got enough of that. Oh, look at that swing, though, man. Oh, that's tough. I don't know if I should blame the wind on that or what, but that was a really good swing. Oh, my God, and I took strike 3. Every single pitch Pablo Lopez threw in that at-bat was right on the corner of the zone. Ah, man, see, that's what I'm talking about. On a 3-1 count, he throws it right there. Oh, but then he left it right down the pipe. Robert, tell me he got enough of that. Tell me that's leaving. We did. We just barely got enough of it to beat the wind. Luis Robert Jr. straight away center field, and we bring it back to only being down 1. That was actually really big. It kind of felt like we needed to at least get a run back right away, and we did. Oh, and Fletcher, I don't know about that one. Oh, man, we came very close between the Eloy swing and that one, and then Robert actually hitting it out. We were very close to doing a lot more damage, but at least we got one back. We're chipping away, and you know what? I'm going to stick with Cease. He has so much energy left, building that confidence back up pitch by pitch. And there we go. We sit down the first batter of the inning. Jeez, every time I throw that circle change, I'm like, oh, I hung it. And then it ends up in the perfect spot. That one ended up a ball. I wonder what that pitch looks like at the plate. Okay, that one actually did hang. Oh my God, I can't put Max Kepler away. He's having one of those at bats. So many foul balls, and then he takes the pitches right off the plate. Just challenge him. Oh, and he's still going to foul it off. Okay. He kept that one fair. Vaughn's there. This will probably be the last batter Dylan Cease faces one way or another. 9-hitter, 2 outs in the inning. If he gives up a hit, we take him out. If he gets him out, we take him out anyway to start the next inning. So we may as well sit him down. Caught him looking on the changeup. 7 innings, all those strikeouts, only 3 runs allowed, 4 hits. That's a good outing from Cease. We just got to pick him up. Oh, I just don't know. I don't know about that one. Yeah, that's gonna die. We keep hitting it to center field. This is like not the time. We want to be hitting fly balls to center field. With the 10-mile-per-hour wind basically blowing in, and we keep hitting fly balls to center. Oh, and what makes that one even worse is it was a 3-0 count, and he came back and threw 3 strikes in a row to sit me down. Okay, Duran, I don't know if it's just a feeling or if it's actually happening. I feel like Ezekiel Duran gets hit more than anybody else. And I guess that's going to be what takes Pablo Lopez out of the game. That's probably for the best. I mean, I know I made some decent swings, but I still felt like I was having some trouble hitting him. All right, so who does that mean? Brock Stewart, I know I mentioned him having a tough-looking pitch mix. He is one of their lower-rated arms, though. I think he was only a 70. Oh, and I just barely was under. It didn't bring the PCI up. That was a battle. I was locked in that at bat. I couldn't quite come away with anything. So we're going to the pen. I'm going to Tanner Banks. Royce Lewis up first. Has reverse split, so he's worse against lefties, and then his 2 lefties after him. There we go. 3 pitches to get the punch out. That was a well-pitched AB. And then we got the grounder to short on another slurve. Ooh, but Julian with the perfect swing right up the middle. I was not expecting that. I mean, I know he was like their best player over the course of the season, but attribute-wise, he does not hit lefties. Now we got to deal with Buxton with a runner on. And there we go, out in front of the circle change. Good inning from Tanner Banks. All right, bottom of the 8th here, top of the order up. I feel like this is where we need to make our comeback. I don't know if that's going to make it all the way to the gap. That's a pretty good swing again, and yeah, he ran it down. Wow. This is not the day to be getting under the ball and hitting everything in the air, and that seems to be all I can do. I'm timing up so many pitches, it's just I'm getting slightly underneath them. Okay, big walk. 3-2 count, take ball 4, get a runner on for Vlad. Do I want to pinch run though? That's the thing. We don't really have much speed on the bench. Nicky Lopez is our fastest bench guy. I don't know if 17 speed is worth it just in case we need Eloy's bat again later. So I'm going to stick with Eloy. Just don't pull anything. No, Vlad, no! I rolled over on it. I thought I saw that pitch well. I couldn't wait back long enough. Oh, that sucks. This is exactly where we didn't want to be. That's what I said when we were looking at their team, is we don't want to be down in the 9th inning with Yohan Duran coming in. And that's exactly where we're going to be. We at least have to do what we can to make sure we're only down 1. And I think leaving Tanner Banks in actually creates the best matchups here with who's due up. That was strike 3 though, I'm pretty sure. I mean, look at that. Don't really understand why that's such a normal thing to be called a ball, but it doesn't matter. Just took 1 extra pitch to sit him down, no harm done. Oh, and a perfect pitch. 3-2, kind of risky, and it was put in a perfect spot. 1 more, Banks. There we go, another slurve, another strikeout, 2 scoreless innings out of Tanner Banks. And now it's 4, 5, 6 due up to do the impossible. And there he is, Yohan Duran. We gotta find some way to put up at least 1 off of him. Look at that small PCI. Okay, I mean, if he wants to keep throwing that is gonna be probably ideal. Oh, get through the middle. There we go. Timed up the fastball, and we have the leadoff runner on. The tying run on base with some speed. I don't know if I have the guts, though, to try and take off with him and steal second. Dude, Fletcher, all right. The pitch before ran inside too, and he jumped out of the way. So I was worried he was going to do it again, but he takes one for the team, and now we've got our tying run in scoring position. You know what? This might be a bunt situation, but I don't know if Mitch Garver is the guy we want bunting. Only 35 bunt rating, 67 clutch though with 84 power. Nah, we don't take the bat out of his hands. Oh my God, there is no way that he just hung a 12-6 right down the middle and we won on a walk-off shot. I acted so terrified of Yohan Duran, and it ended up he didn't even get an out. A hit batter and an absolute nuke off the bat of Mitch Garver. We put up a 3 spot against Yohan Duran and win game 1 on a walk-off. I can't believe it. He missed in the dirt with 2 12-6s right before that. I don't know what logic dictates to come back with a 3rd of those in a row. I mean, I know this is a game and it's coding and whatever, but it's almost like he threw 2 of those pitches in the dirt, and he was so conscious of that all he was trying to do was make sure he didn't bounce it again and then left it hanging. Oh my God, what an electric way to start this postseason run, man. 2 of our 3 homers coming from the big trades we made, the other one from the existing star player. We got a great outing from the Cy Young Award winning pitcher, and we can't overlook what Tanner Banks did either. 2 scoreless innings in relief. So there we go, a game 1 win. We get 2 fireballs of momentum, although in my experience throughout the years playing March to October, momentum doesn't really mean anything in the playoffs. I mean, you're playing in every single game. They do say that momentum influences teams' performance in innings that are skipped, but like I said, in my experience, it doesn't really feel like it plays a factor at all in the postseason. So game 2 to try and go up 2-0 in the series. It's going to be once again a 1-0 lead, this time an inning later though. But yeah, that's where we're gonna go ahead and call it here for episode 1 of our playoff run. The plan would be to play the next 2 games regardless of what that means, if that means wrapping up the series or splitting those next 2 games. Plan is to play 2 unless one goes like to a ridiculous amount of extras. So as always guys, make sure you let me know if you enjoyed this one by hitting that like button, and if you are enjoying the White Sox March to October and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I mean, if game 1 was anything to go by, this is going to be a great postseason run. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you next time.